Heaven has chosen this moment to reveal a promise that has been kept in silence, waiting only for the perfect time. Listen closely, for this is no ordinary word. It is a divine call to your heart. For so long you mistook silence for rejection. But I tell you now, every pause was an answer, every delay an act of love. What seemed like postponement was preparation. I was working out every detail while you were learning to stand firm. Archangel Michael proclaims, "Heaven has moved. The time has come." God is sending someone into your life, not as coincidence, but as destiny. In the unseen, a sound echoes. At the core of your name vibrates an eternal rhythm. I have written your story with light and purpose, and that light is finding its way to another chosen soul. What is about to be born is not a fleeting feeling, but a spiritual bond, a connection reflecting the essence of divine love. This person will not come to drain your strength, but to complement your journey, to mirror the light already within you. Stay until the end of this revelation, for before the final word you will understand why tears were seeds, why silence was a shield, and why delays were invisible bridges leading to this encounter. The loneliness you feared was never empty. It was a promise woven with perfection. Archangel Michael declares, "You are crossing the gates where the divine meets the human." False connections have dissolved so that the true one, ordained in heaven, may find you. My child, you stand between the end of an old season and the beginning of a new one. Even the air carries the herald of rebirth. And when I move, no earthly power can resist me. You were not created to walk alone. The longing you carry is not weakness. It is the reflection of my desire to be with you. The cry of your heart is the echo of eternity, announcing that the answer is near. The one I have prepared will bring peace to your soul, will be a home in the form of presence, a covenant that multiplies purpose rather than pain. Do not retreat now. The signs are becoming clearer. If you notice repeating names, significant numbers, or persistent dreams, know this is not fantasy. It is destiny awakening at the perfect time. Before this message ends, a sacred sign will confirm that the waiting is over and heaven has moved. Stay with me until the last word. When this revelation concludes, you will no longer see your loneliness as loss, but as a sacred corridor through which I have walked to place into your hands what belongs to you by promise. This is the beginning of a story written by heaven itself. Love sealed in my perfect timing. Archangel Michael, guardian of this prophecy, declares with authority, "Do not be afraid. The future was ordained before the foundation of the world." Beloved, this is not coincidence. It is divine, it is purposeful. The time has come for heaven's promise to be fulfilled. Stay until the end, for what is being revealed now will transform not only your view of love, but your understanding of salvation itself. My daughter, I have seen the nights when silence screamed louder than any voice. I saw you lying awake, wondering if you were invisible, questioning whether I ignored your prayers for friendship, for understanding, for someone who could truly see you. You asked in the quiet of your soul, "Why do I always love the wrong ones? Why do I give everything and receive nothing in return?" You mistook a broken heart for failure, but I tell you now, it was protection. Every disappointment was divine direction. Archangel Michael says, God's plan never wastes your tears. He uses them to water the soil of your destiny. You endured seasons when love seemed like a promise meant for others, when every new connection began with hope and ended in confusion. The wounds of betrayal, the weight of rejection, the silence after giving everything, these were not random trials. They were sacred fire refining your discernment. For how could you recognize divine partnership if you had never seen the counterfeit? How could you value a spiritual soulmate if your heart had not learned the difference between illusion and truth? Listen, beloved. There were forces assigned to your heart, people, energies, attachments, that came disguised as affection but carried the intent to distract. Some connections were never meant to last. They came to show you how much of yourself you still gave to the undeserving, How easily your light could be dimmed by those who did not carry my essence. But I, the Lord, allowed this so you would learn to guard the sacred ground of your soul. For now, what approaches is holy, and it cannot enter a heart still entangled in false peace. Do you remember the moments when everything collapsed at once? Friendships that dissolved without reason, love that suddenly vanished, opportunities that disappeared just as you were ready to step forward. You thought it was loss, but it was destiny in motion. I removed the supports holding what could not endure. Archangel Michael says, "When heaven restores, it first clears the ground." That is why I cleared your path, not to punish, but to prepare. I saw the day when you stopped believing that something sacred could be written for you. You built walls of self-sufficiency, saying, "I am fine alone," while your soul whispered, "I was made for connection." You hid behind busyness, logic, and fear of pain. Yet deep inside, a small flame refused to die, the belief that true love still exists. That flame is the altar upon which I am about to breathe. You feared being deceived again. You feared repetition of the same pain. But this time, I intervene. Archangel Michael declares, "Heaven has drawn a boundary around your heart. Only the divine may enter." That is why some people have disappeared without conflict. Their silence was not rejection, it was divine selection. You are being purified, transformed into a divine message carrying the vibration of heavenly union, where two souls serve a higher purpose rather than indulge human desire. Yes, you faced the danger of spiritual numbness. There were days when prayer felt empty, when even worship seemed like dust. You wondered, "Do you still hear me? Has my faith gone unnoticed?" But even in that silence, I was near. I was shaping your spirit to receive not just affection, but alignment. For what I am sending is not merely a person, it is purpose clothed in human form. This divine partnership is not born of chance, it is ordained by eternity. My child, loneliness feels heavy because your soul has grown deeper than before. You can no longer settle for shallow connections that once distracted you. This is not failure. It is spiritual growth. You are no longer in the realm of temporary comfort. You are ascending into divine destiny. Each time you asked, "Why can't I find the one who fits me?" I answered, "Because I am still writing the one who must." Archangel Michael says, "Heaven guards your timeline." Understand this. When the enemy cannot destroy your future, he tries to delay it. He sends confusion, doubt, and premature connections to make you lose faith in the promise. That is why discernment has become your greatest weapon. When you learned to say no to what glittered but brought no peace, you broke the curse of false love. You prepared yourself for the reality of a God-sent encounter. There were hearts that tried to love you from emptiness, and in their attempt to fill themselves, they drained you. But now I send one who carries my presence within, not someone who will complete you, for only I can, but someone who will complement you, walking beside you in harmony, not dependency. This is not fantasy, it is God's plan. It is the fulfillment of heaven's promise in your emotional life. The danger now, beloved, lies in losing patience at the threshold of fulfillment. Many turn back just before their blessing arrives. They grow weary of waiting and settle for distractions, but you must not. Heaven is already directing your path. In the unseen realms, steps are being ordered, schedules are shifting, and hearts are being prepared. God is moving, and the one created for you is taking their place. So beware of the temptation to rush. Beware of the illusion of loneliness whispering that nothing is happening. Every seeming delay is divine choreography. And when you least expect it, a simple meeting, a word, a message, an ordinary moment, will open a door you never knew existed. Then you will understand. It was divine. Do not fear silence anymore. It is not emptiness. It is preparation. Your waiting has been sacred labor. You have never been forgotten. You were chosen. Chosen to experience a love that reveals me, not replaces me. When your spiritual soulmate, your destined companion, arrives, you will know the peace that only heaven can give. The night is nearly over, my child. The dawn of your divine purpose in love is approaching. Archangel Michael declares, "Hold on, the promise is being fulfilled." That is why I allowed pruning, because what follows must be pure. Remain faithful. Remain expectant. Soon, the loneliness that once crushed you will become testimony for others who wait for their redemption. You will say, "It was not coincidence. It was not failure. It was divine." My beloved child, now that your heart has been purified by silence, it is time for understanding to replace confusion. I, the Lord, reveal to you what few recognize. The path from waiting to fulfillment is not through haste, but through harmony. You were taught to chase love, to constantly search, to fill emptiness with noise, but my way is higher. My plan is not for you to meet someone by chance. I must bring you into divine timing, where your soul and another are synchronized by heaven's design. Archangel Michael says, "When heaven sends someone, they do not come to finish your story, but to confirm it." Consider this. Many seek love to feel complete, but divine love comes after wholeness is restored in me. What you called loneliness was sacred silence, where I restored you. What you called loss was my hand removing what could not walk with you into destiny. Your true spiritual soulmate will not come when you are trying to escape loneliness, but when you have learned to rest in my peace. Ask yourself, my child, how many times have you mistaken emotional intensity for divine connection? How many times has passion disguised itself, only to leave you empty again? This time will be different, because you are different. I have refined your purity and tuned your spiritual resonance. You no longer vibrate with desperation. You vibrate with discernment. And heaven always responds to harmony. Do you remember praying, "Lord, if this is from you, let it bring peace"? That prayer reached me, and now I send you this truth. Peace is the sign of the divine. It will not rush you. It will not confuse you. It will not demand what breaks your spirit. When your destined companion comes, they will not make you doubt your worth. They will remind you who you are in me. Archangel Michael says, "The enemy imitates light until the true light appears." That is why discernment is so vital. Many cling to emotional imitations because they seek comfort before confirmation. But you, beloved, have learned through pain that light without peace is deception. The true encounter, sent by God, will feel like coming home, not like a trial. Now hear this heavenly secret, revealed only to those who listen with the heart. Divine love always has purpose. It is never random. It multiplies destiny. When I join two souls, it is not for entertainment but for expansion. Together you will become instruments of my will. Together your union will heal what loneliness once wounded. Together you will create a heavenly partnership where faith, purpose, and affection merge into sacred mission. But here lies your moral dilemma. Will you recognize the divine when it appears gentle rather than grand? Will you embrace the quiet miracle or wait for drama? For my ways are not always thunder and fire. Sometimes they are silence and light. The one I send may not meet your expectations, but they will fill your spirit. This is not coincidence. It is divine. My child, now is your moment to stop merely waiting for love and prepare for it. Live as though the promise has already been fulfilled. Purify your intentions. Speak words of hope. Live honestly. Guard your peace. Every act of faith you show now builds a bridge to your divine partnership. Consider this. What if the person I am sending is already near? What if you have crossed paths but did not recognize them because your heart was still focused on the past? That is why today I awaken your discernment. I call you to open your eyes to the subtle workings of heaven. Sometimes destiny hides in ordinary moments. in a conversation, in an unexpected meeting, in what seems insignificant but carries eternity within it. Archangel Michael says, "The sign of divine connection is not intensity, but peace." When you feel that peace, do not run from it. Embrace it. Let it unfold naturally. Do not rush the sacred. What I am writing to you is not fleeting attachment. It is divine design clothed in love. Treat it with reverence. You once thought waiting meant rejection, but in truth, it was selection. I was choosing one whose spirit could carry the weight of your calling. Not everyone can walk beside a soul chosen for light. That is why many turned away. They were not ready for the destiny you carry. But now I send someone equally chosen, equally refined. They too have walked through fire. They too have prayed for a love that reflects holiness, not ego. And when you meet, your hearts will recognize each other, not by appearance, but by peace. So prepare yourself. Do not merely wait, align. Do not merely hope, act. Let your life already reflect what you expect from heaven. When you walk in forgiveness, gratitude, and purity, you draw closer to the vibration of fulfillment. Heaven is aligning your path even now. Every unseen delay, every sudden change in your plans is destiny's map being redrawn by my hand. You ask, how will I know it is them? I answer, you will feel peace that silences fear. You will sense purpose greater than emotion. You will know my presence grows stronger when you are together. Archangel Michael says, heaven confirms what heaven sends. The confirmation will come in time, through word, through peace. And when that moment arrives, do not doubt. This is your preparation phase, the bridge between promise and manifestation. You are not just waiting for love, you are becoming love, the reflection of my heart on earth. When you become what you desire is drawn to you by divine law. This is how God works now, unseen yet unstoppable. My child, begin to declare, I am ready for the love that aligns with my divine purpose. Repeat it until your spirit shifts. Repeat it until fear loses its voice. For heaven responds to expressed faith. Every time you affirm what I have promised, you open a new portal into the unseen. You call forth what has already been written. Soon, very soon, you will see what I see. You will understand why I delayed what you thought you wanted, and how I prepared what you truly need. This is not coincidence. This is the promise that heaven will arrive at its appointed time. Archangel Michael says, heaven is moving, and your time has come. Do not sleep, beloved. Stay awake. Watch for the signs of peace, for they are your compass. The one I send will not only love you, but will walk with you into the fulfillment of your spiritual destiny. Beloved child, heaven now opens above you, and I speak this truth into your spirit. The season of waiting has reached its divine completion. The soil that once seemed barren is now overflowing with unseen life. The tears that watered your pillow have become seeds of your miracle. You endured pruning, and now the promise blooms. God is moving, and this movement is not a whisper, but a divine declaration written into your days. Archangel Michael says, what heaven has ordained cannot be interrupted. And I tell you, what I have written for you cannot be erased by any human hand. What I have destined for you cannot be stolen by any false connection. Every delay was a wall of fire I raised around your heart, so that only what carries my essence could enter. I hid you not as punishment, but for preservation. For I have been preparing you for divine love, not for imitation. You will not need to search for it. It will recognize you, for it was crafted by the same hands that created you. The one I send does not come to fill your emptiness, but to expand your purpose. Together you will walk like a flame burning with two fires. This divine partnership is not merely a connection, it is a heavenly union, forged in the furnace of time and sealed with my promise. When your souls meet, Peace will be declared before words are spoken. Your spirit will know before your mind can reason. That is how divine truths are revealed, through recognition, not explanation. You feared that love would always be a battle, but I replace conflict with peace. You will no longer beg for understanding or fight for recognition. This love will flow quietly, strong yet gentle, powerful yet steady. It will reflect the way I love you, patiently, sincerely, and consistently. Archangel Michael declares, "This is love that restores, not drains, builds, not destroys, harmonizes, not distracts." And when you experience it, you will finally understand why everything before had to end. Heaven rejoices, for this is the fulfillment of a heavenly promise. No waiting done in faith ever returns empty. Every season of loneliness you endured has stored up spiritual inheritance, and now I release it to you. This inheritance is not only emotional, it is creative, financial, and spiritual. When you enter this new chapter, abundance will follow alignment. The same hand that grants you love will also open doors to purpose. For when my plans are fulfilled, they touch every area of life. Beloved, listen carefully. I am sending you not just someone to love, but a witness to your calling, a companion who will see your light even when the world ignores it. This person will help bring your dreams to life, stand beside you in battle, and celebrate your victories without envy. They will not distract you. They will be a mirror of divine order. This spiritual ally has undergone their own purification, preparing to meet you at the same level of faith and devotion. The blessing I now give you is the blessing of clarity. You will no longer walk in confusion. Where you once doubted your worth, you will now stand firm. Where you once tried to convince others of your value, it will now be evident. The divine purpose within you will begin to attract those who carry the same light. Friendships, partnerships, and divine encounters will unfold effortlessly, not through manipulation, but through the magnetism of the Spirit. Archangel Michael says, "Peace will be your sign." Where peace reigns, there is divine confirmation. Where confusion remains, it is not from heaven. Believe this, and you will no longer fall into the traps of false attachment. Your heart, once fragile, is now strengthened with discernment. You will not repeat old patterns, for the grace that once saved you now dwells within you. You are no longer the one who waits. You are the one who receives. Hear this truth. I have not forgotten a single promise I made to you. Years that seemed lost will be restored in a single season. What once took years to build will now unfold swiftly, for divine timing accelerates everything according to my plan. The meeting I promised will not come through striving, but through flow. A simple decision, a quiet act of obedience will intersect with eternity, and everything will change. Do not fear this new beginning. The weight you feel now is not anxiety. It is destiny knocking at the door of your heart, asking to be received. Open it, for I am sending you what will heal your very understanding of love. What once broke you will now teach you. What once confused you will now support you. What once isolated you will now introduce you to communion rooted in heaven. Archangel Michael declares, "Be ready." The appointed time is not approaching, it has already arrived. As you hear these words, heaven is arranging circumstances in your favor. Conversations are being aligned, movements redirected, divine connections activated. You are being woven into the redemption story of another, just as they are being woven into yours. This is not fantasy, it is the unveiling of divine destiny. Rejoice, for you have entered into a heavenly exchange. I am turning your sorrow into joy, your waiting into fulfillment, your fear into revelation. Soon your testimony will become a witness of my faithfulness. You will say, "I waited, and heaven remembered me." You will know that no silence was wasted, no prayer unheard. There will be signs, my child, signs confirming my words. You will see repeating numbers, unexpected encouragement, and encounters too precise to be coincidence. These are not random events. They are divine messages marking the path to manifestation. When these signs appear, whisper in your heart, "I receive this as divine. My time has come." You will notice your surroundings begin to change. A new atmosphere will fill your home. Old memories will fade. A sense of readiness will awaken in your spirit. This is my spirit preparing the place for blessing. And when you feel this gentle stirring in your heart, know that Archangel Michael is near, clearing your path of obstacles and ensuring that only what comes from heaven reaches your prepared heart. Beloved, you stand at the threshold of a chapter that will not only heal you but transform your perception of me. The love I send will be a reflection of my own heart, holy, protective, and unwavering. It will show you that salvation is not only forgiveness of sins, but restoration of all that was broken. Through this love you will learn that to be divinely loved is to be fully seen and yet chosen. Your story is about to become revelation for others. Through your testimony, many will believe again in the reality of God's design, that loneliness can be turned into purpose and that heaven fulfills its promises. You will speak with the confidence of one who waited and was found. Your life will become living proof that heaven's promises are never broken. Archangel Michael declares, "The angels rejoice, for those who wait will be remembered." My son, the delay is over. This is the moment when prophecy becomes experience. Stand firm in gratitude, live in expectation. For soon you will no longer pray for this blessing, you will live in it. I, the Lord, proclaim to you, you will know love that honors covenant, a bond that carries light. You will walk in unity that multiplies peace, in partnership that nourishes destiny. And through it all, you will see that every tear, every unanswered question, every season of waiting was my preparation for the beauty that begins now. This is your new beginning. Waiting was sacred. Alignment is perfect. Manifestation is near. Do not fear, for what I send carries my name, my breath, and my blessing. It is divine. It is destiny. The time has come to fulfill it. My precious children, as you finish reading this message, take a deep breath and remember, none of this was coincidence. This word was written in heaven, carried on the wings of Archangel Michael, and delivered directly to your spirit. You did not arrive here by chance. You were led by heavenly precision, by a higher power now moving to fulfill what I have already ordained for your life. The silence that once frightened you no longer reigns. What seemed like endless waiting was not in vain. It was necessary to prepare every detail, remove obstacles, and align each step with perfect precision. What lies ahead will not require haste, but sensitivity. Pay attention to the subtle signs of my presence, the peace that will descend upon you, the divine timing that will surprise you, and the love that will arrive like a rediscovered home. Listen carefully. Archangel Michael proclaims, "Stand firm in faith, for heaven never forgets those who wait with confidence." Now is the time to remain watchful with an awakened heart, receptive to the holy, and open to what is coming. The love I send will not pull you away from your purpose. It will strengthen you within it. What approaches is not merely a meeting, but the manifestation of divine design. If this truth touches the depths of your heart, proclaim it with faith or write it down as a covenant. I receive. This is sacred. This is perfect timing. Such a simple act carries power. It is a spiritual seal, a confirmation that you have made room for the fulfillment of my plan. Every word of faith you speak ties you more deeply to the rhythm of divine timing. And when night falls, whisper to your soul, "Peace is my sign. Love is my guide. Purpose is my path." Let this truth become the foundation of your coming days. Very soon, the one chosen to walk beside you will appear, your spiritual soulmate, your living promise. They will bring not fear but peace, not confusion but clarity. When this encounter happens, you will know deep within that it is heaven's touch. Stand firm, my children. Heaven has already moved, and your story is crossing the threshold between prayer and fulfillment. Archangel Michael goes before you, untangling knots, opening paths, and guarding your heart so that only what is pure, true, and destined remains. Walk in my light. Receive the peace I have given you. Know that the God who writes every detail with perfect precision sees you, knows you, and loves you deeply. If this message has ignited something within you, hold it with zeal, strengthen it with faith, and share it with those who also wait. Let others know that I still speak, that heaven still acts, and that my promises still find those who believe. And when the sign appears, when peace reigns, when love arrives with purpose, you will understand, it was never coincidence. It was me all along. Dear brothers and sisters, we have reached the end of this video, but our journey of faith and love is only beginning. Before we part, I want to express my deepest gratitude to each of you who make this channel possible. The light of divine truth shines here because of you, and through your support we can share it with the world. If our messages have touched you, I invite you to become a member of this channel or make a donation of any amount. Your contribution is vital. It allows us to continue spreading these messages of love, hope, and faith. Click the Become a Member or Thanks button below the video to join us in this meaningful journey. If you cannot support us financially, know that simply sharing this video can reach more hearts longing for God's Word. Remember, every act of kindness, every gesture of generosity is like a seed planted in fertile soil, growing and transforming into fruits of love and understanding. Together we are building a place where God's love shines, where faith grows stronger, and where hope is renewed each day. I sincerely thank all who are already part of this family and those who are about to join us. May God's grace continue to guide, strengthen, and inspire us in our mission to spread His Word. Until the next video, remember, together we are stronger in faith, love, and hope. Amen.